Okay. Welcome once again. Of course, I can't stay away from this game forever. Um, I've just fought several Potomac Fort battles to get the general perk that I want. I am currently running pandakraut's 1.2 UI and AI mod, which, among other things, adds some information to weapon tooltips. Um, actually allows you to choose your major general second level perk, and makes the targeting reticles much more visible by turning them white so that you can see where your troops are aiming on the map, and makes a bunch of other changes. I think the only other major change is a tweak to the AI to prevent the sniper suicide charges. So, I've fought Potomac Fort. This is the force that I came out with. Of course, I'm going to turn the volume down a little bit. There we go. Maybe not quite that much. And before I get started with Newport News, I want to talk about the scaling here. I've got this game saved, and you can see that Siegfried ended up with 266 men, and Kemper ended up with 117. And if we, let's take, so this is the setup that I took for the initial run: 3 politics, 1 economy, 2 medicine, AO 1, and reconnaissance 1. I need 2 points in reconnaissance to actually be able to see the size of the enemy force. So I'm actually going to spend my first point on the reconnaissance. I didn't get the 4 that I got before when I was playing the Legendary Union. And the next thing I want to do is, so let's take a look at this battle, Newport News. So notice that the enemy's total strength is 9,795 and 24 guns. So when I was doing the Legendary Union playthrough, I figured out that in these minor battles, the AI bases its brigade strength on your average brigade strength, even if you have a bunch of units that aren't going to go into the fight. So right now, 3,373 soldiers. These are my allied AI units, or allied units, and 10 guns. So 9,795. It's about 3-to-1 odds. And you can see that the size of these infantry brigades that I'm being given are about 600 men, a little more than 600 men, and the artillery brigades are 5 guns each. So you can see. So the normal thing is when you first start playing the game, you're like, oh well, I'll just add a bunch of troops. These guys are experienced. We'll get these guys in charge. We have Canfield available. Preston was killed in my version of Potomac Fort. I could also get one of these other colonels, but I've got Canfield available because he was wounded and came back up. Put Kemper back in charge of his guys. I also got Crocker and Hexamer. It was a good crop. So your natural instinct is to I didn't even check to see whether these guys were crap. They're both crap. Then your natural instinct is, well, I'll strengthen these units, right? So let's say we run these units up to 1,000 men. And I'm not worrying about cost here because I don't care, actually, because I'm not going to go in with this force. So I create these 2 brigades, and let's say we run the guns up to 6. Now let's go look at scaling for the battle. So it went from 9,760 some to 11,620. So I added about 800, 900, I added about 1,700 guys. And the AI added 9,700, over 2,000. And I added 3 guns. The AI added 6 guns. So what I just did was make things harder on myself. So I'm only bringing 5,700 men and 16 guns, but the number of enemy troops went up by more than I added. So I actually made things harder. And if I wanted to go in with 3 infantry brigades, I could. We'll move the cable down here. Sure, Crocker. create another 1,000-man brigade. We'll add another 1,000 men. And notice that that puts it up by, again, more than 1,000 men. So now it's 13,000 to 6,700. The problem with this is, especially in these early battles, you just added a bunch of experienced enemy troops, and your guys suck. And so you just made this really, really hard. And if you make these units bigger, it gets worse. And the reason, of course, is that the AI is balancing off of the average brigade size. Well, I don't have any more men, so let's disband this guy. We'll ramp these guys up to 1,500. So now notice this is the same number of men minus the artillery unit. And he's got even more troops because I raised the average size of my brigades. Now, the only reason this isn't scaling outrageously more is because these 600-man brigades that I've received as part of my allies are holding the average down, basically. If my average was 1,500, this would be a huge number. So we're not going to do that. What we're actually going to do is we're going to leave Siegfried and Kemper in place. We're going to put Canfield in charge of this new division. Yeah, Kemper's actually okay. Let's see if I can get away with actually buying weapons instead of repping them. So if we create 3 500-man brigades and we leave these other brigades in place, I just dropped 4,000 men, 3,500 men, and 6 guns off of the enemy total, and I'm only down about I'm down about 1,500 men. So what I've just done is change the odds to better than 2 to 1. It's about what, 1.8 to 1 or something like that. And that's counting my artillery guns. Now, also notice that if I get rid of these guys, I think what it'll do is bump the number of enemy guns. Let's see if it does. No change. So I can leave those guys in place. And notice that some of these guys aren't going to get to go, because they're part of Siegfried's and Kemper's old brigades that got beat up. Also notice that I have 2 brigades named Kemper. Because I moved Kemper and he was recovered. Alright, so we're going to reload that. So I'm going to run 500-man infantry brigades.
Sir, yes, sir!
With these majors that I've gotten for free. And I'm not even going to worry about bringing those guys up to strength because they don't matter. I'm only going to bring about 5,000 supply, because one of the other things that Pandakraut's mod did was show how much the supply costs are. And what you see is that infantry carries about 30 ammunition. Actually, we should be able to see it. Yeah, infantry carries 30 ammunition, and their ammo cost is 1. The ammo cost is, it's not immediately clear what that value actually is, but I think what it is how much it costs to replenish 1 point of ammunition. And so replenishing infantry ammunition is trivial. It only costs 30, presumably 30 points, whatever those points are on the ammo wagons. Probably the actual numbers right there. Now, notice the difference with the artillery. Artillery carries 20 ammunition, and their ammo cost is 100. So to replenish an infantry brigade, you might not be able to see this. Let me drag my... Yeah, keep going down. Yeah, so first, look back at the rifle. Yeah. To replenish an infantry brigade's full ammunition only costs 30 points, presumably 30 supply points. To replenish an artillery brigade's 20 ammunition costs 2,000. Which is why, and now we know why ammunition eats, or artillery eats ammunition, because their ammo cost is 100 times greater than the infantry, which seems a little odd, but okay. One of the other things that Pandakraut's mod did was it shows accuracy low and accuracy high values. The old accuracy values were always the low values. The accuracy high value is essentially the maximum damage roll. So it's accuracy times damage is what determines how much damage you actually do. So the accuracy roll, and it's a random roll. So if I rolled 110, then it would be 110 multiplied by 12.5. And we're still not sure precisely how the damage mechanics work. Pandakraut might know more. But at least we know what the range is. And you can also see on the artillery, the rifle's range is 110, 40 to 110. The artillery is only 10 to 52.5. So the artillery does more damage, but it has a lower cap on the damage roll that it can actually throw. It can only roll a 52.5 at the most. So there we have it. Also, in the 1.10 patch, they apparently fixed the ammunition perks. So artillery should actually be able to carry a reasonable amount of ammunition now. We'll see. But so I'm going to send 2nd Division into Newport News. Oh, I need to promote myself. I will, of course, take infantry. And so here we go. Newport News. With 9,900 men instead of 13,000 men. So I'm actually bringing in about 5,200, but still better than 2-to-1 odds, as opposed to almost, it was, even if I was to add 1,500 more men, would double the size of all of my brigades, it would still be up in the 11 to 12,000 range. So I add 1,500, they get, another a lot more than 1,500. So hopefully my 500-man brigades can survive. We'll see. And we're not bringing these guys. So the question is, do I even attempt a forward defense, or do I defend the town? Defending the town's probably safer. I think I might leave the 2-1 rifle up here to harass these guys and slow them down. Shift the other 2 units back. And the supply wagon, prepare him to just run back to the town. Let's get Stuart out here to harass these guys. You can see their brigades are only about 1,000 men each, which is a lot, but it's not the end of the world. We've got some skirmishers. Excuse me. I'm going to try to run Griffin over if I can escape getting shot up by Bernie. This is actually ideal. Bernie's going to run all the way up here, expend some crazy... He just spent a bunch of stamina, which means he's going to be a lot slower. And the artillery stopped up there. And this gives me a chance to crush these skirmishers before they can do any significant damage. See if Bernie's... Okay, Bernie's moving now. So I'm going to circle around behind him again and go for the artillery again. We've got these guys trapped on the river. They're going to die. And I charge these guys because I've got to get to them before they fire a canister into the cavalry unit and destroy them. Alright. So that unit was busted. Let's get these guys across the river. I should be able to kill Griffin entirely. Maybe not. Get them away before the skirmishers can fire. Go, 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 go. Didn't quite knock him down to 2 guns. Or 3 guns. Now hopefully what I can do here though, because my brigades are relatively small, is chew these guys up. More units coming in. Here comes his cavalry unit. Notice how small this cavalry unit is compared to some of the cavalry units you see when you're fighting this battle. Sometimes that unit's 1,000 men. Flanking is still super wonky. I don't know why my units haven't fired yet. Poe tried to rush. See if we can't get Stuart to stay on those skirmishers. Ran those guys out. Whew. Okay. Whoa. Alright, let's get these guys into the fight. I'm going to send Ewell and Bartow to this side, because we know there's troops coming from that direction. Get these two guys into the main fight. Get one artillery unit set up facing that way. One artillery unit set up facing, I think, here. Somehow these guys are rear flanked, even though they're facing that direction. Come on, Atheist, get back and fight. Stuart charged through those guys and into Poe. Awesome. I'm going to dismount Stuart and have him guard this flank. Notice that this guy is still flanked, even though he's not really flanked. Also, this is part of Pandakraut's mod. You can see the shot and Imboden. I don't know what he's doing. I'm gonna merge my guys. Those guys are now in canister range. Notice that B is flanked, even though he's not actually flanked. No, they charged the wrong guy. I don't know what Pelham's doing. Apparently Pelham is look at this, he's charging into the middle of this huge melee. Oh, my supply wagon could have easily been captured there. Might still be. Canfield's holding. I'm gonna have Evans charge into that. Use B to fend off these skirmishers. I don't know why the 2-1 rifle turned around. I don't know what happened to the artillery down here. Did they get wiped out? No, they're right here. So that was pretty crazy. These guys turn their back to this huge mass of troops. I'm gonna have B push these skirmishers away. Where is it? Yeah, this may be a result of the AI changes. I have no idea where Immoden is going. Like, why he has decided to mount up and move forward. Actually, yeah, we'll have Stuart tackle those guys. And have Jennifer defend this flank against the cavalry. Stuart should be able to ride those guys down. We're gonna go artillery hunting. Bring B back to defend this flank. Switch fuel back. that's it. They took 3,374 casualties. I took 923, lost 3 guns, 109 cavalry. Yeah, not too bad. And a little dicey, especially that initial charge. But overall, not that tough. And I've been overrun at Newport News before. And that's because essentially the AI was down 3,000 men, 4,000 men. So you can make things easier for yourself significantly by paying attention to how large the enemy army is and how the scaling actually works. So Newport News. Thanks for watching. I'll be back to show the next camp screen right after this.